Hello and welcome. Today we will look at the Blessed 3-star coaster pattern. If this is your first time, thank you for stopping by. My name is Mirka and I make stitch and pattern, crochet and Tunisian crochet tutorials. So if this is of your interest, please consider liking this video, subscribing and let me know in the comments below what you think about the tutorial. And without further ado, let's dive in. The Blessed 3-star coaster is a project which is worked with a special technique in Tunisian crochet, and this is Tunisian crochet in the round. So for the Tunisian crochet in the round, you need double-ended hook that looks like this. And I've written the pattern for decade weight yarn. However, you can use other types of yarn like worsted weight or even bulky. You just need to consider that the project might get bigger than the dimensions in the pattern, so that you would need to adjust the number of rows, or you would be just happy with having the coaster bigger. Right, so there are a few things that we need to consider when we do Tunisian crochet in the round. It's slightly different to the normal Tunisian crochet that you would do back and forth. So what we're going to do, we are going to be starting in the round, and then between the rows and between forward and return pass, we need to turn our hook. So I'm going to demonstrate it in a moment. So when you work this coaster, you can choose any two colors that you like, but I find that you get really good results with the Tunisian crochet in the round when you use two different shades of the same color. And I made two different samples where I did the reverse stitches with the lighter color on this blue one, and then I did the reverse stitches, Tunisian reverse stitches, in the darker color in this coaster. So it looks nice both ways. If you choose colors which are dramatically different, that you might find that the other color is kind of peeking through the stitches, so you wouldn't get that nice clean difference between the colors. Okay, so what we're going to do, we are going to start with a slip knot. So for this tutorial, I've got two radically different colors because I wanted you to really see the difference and what we are doing. So I've got red and orange. So I'm going to start with the orange, and we will start with a slip knot. Okay, so you can either make the usual slip knot, which you've got the short end at the front, turn around, make a slip knot, and then you adjust the size of your slip knot with the long tail, or you can do it the other way around, where you adjust the side of the slip knot with the short end. Alternatively, you can also start with the magic ring. So it's up to you what you like, which method you like the most. So once we have a slip knot, we then insert the hook from front to back, yarn over and pull up a loop, and you chain one. Okay, what this chain one does, it secures the loop on the hook so it doesn't get loose as you work. You then do that again, insert the hook from front to back, yarn over and pull up a loop, and chain one. So that's 2, and in total we will need 12 of these for the first round. So once you've got your 12 loops on the hook, it might get a bit messy, but don't worry. Once we work a few rows, we'll then tighten the loop, and that would create a nice circle. So now we've got our forward pass done. We need to work these loops off as in Tunisian crochet, so we need to work our return pass. So what we do, we turn our hook around. So we are kind of facing the bottom or the wrong side of the project. We then bring our other yarn or other colored yarn, make a slip knot, place that on the hook, and we will work. We have the yarn over that we would normally work already on the hook because there is a loop, so we do pull through one, and that will be only done at the very beginning of the project. So we only do the pull through one once, and then we yarn over and pull through two. Okay, and we will yarn over and pull through two until we get to about last 3 hook loops on the hook, and then we turn our project around. Okay, so we've got about last 4 loops, so that's one more, and that's the return pass for your row number 1. Okay, so while we've got our row number 1 done, we are going to progress with the row number 2. So what we need to do now, we've got 12 loops on our hook. We need to start increasing. So we will be increasing 2 stitches at a time. So what we need to do, we'll be working Tunisian knit stitches for most of the project. So as you can see on the coaster, all of these stitches are done in Tunisian knit stitch, and these highlights are done in Tunisian reverse stitch. And as you can see, these are the increased lines. So we'll be increasing in 6 places. So we will do double increase. So we will, from 1 stitch, we'll end up with 3 stitches after the increase. So what we need to do, we will insert the hook from front to back and work Tunisian knit stitch like so. So Tunisian knit stitch is insert the hook between the front and back loop, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then we yarn over. But usually I yarn over from back to front. However, with these increased stitches, we will be yarning over from front to back, and then working another Tunisian knit stitch in the very same stitch. Okay, so now what we need to do to keep a track of the beginning of your row, you need to grab a stitch marker or a small string of yarn and pop that on the first stitch, just to make sure that you're not going just round and round and round, not keeping track of your rows. So that's what we need to do. So we've got our double increase. The next stitch is Tunisian knit stitch, and the next one will be our double increase. So Tunisian knit stitch, yarn over from front to back, and Tunisian knit stitch like so. The next one is Tunisian knit stitch like so. Again, double increase, knit stitch, yarn over, and knit stitch. And as you can see, the loops on the hook are getting a bit tight, and it's really hard for me to work the neck into the next stitch. So what we need to do now, this is our right side of the project. So again, we turn our hook around to the wrong side of the project. We locate our other strand of yarn that we used for the return pass, and we continue with yarn over, pull through 2 like so, again until we get to the last 3 loops. Okay, where you get to the increase, please be careful so you wouldn't lose those increase loops, or you wouldn't work 2 of them at the same time, in which case you would decrease your stitch and then you would be missing stitches. So we've got last 3 loops, I'm fine. So again, I will turn the project around to face the right side rather than the wrong side, and we continue. So we've ended with the increased stitch, so we are continuing with Tunisian knit and then double increase like so, Tunisian knit, and then double increase like so. And I've got a few more stitches to work before I get to the beginning of the row. Right, so this was double increase, Tunisian knit, and again the loops are getting a bit tight on the hook, so I flip it around, work a few stitches off, like so. Okay, once we get to the last 3 loops, I can turn my work around again. I'm on double increase, so Tunisian knit, yarn over Tunisian knit, then Tunisian knit stitch, and I'm back to the beginning. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to work a few more stitches off. So for round number 3, we will be starting with Tunisian knit stitch in the first stitch, the one with the stitch marker, and then we will place the double increase in the middle stitch from the previous increase. So with the increase you had Tunisian knit, yarn over Tunisian knit, and you'll be placing the double increase into the yarn over, and this holds true, or this will be repeated for each consecutive row, where the double increase will be always placed into the yarn over from the previous double increase. Okay, so we start with Tunisian knit. What we can do, we can then move the stitch marker up to mark the first stitch of the row, or round rather. Now we have the yarn over. It's worth to work the yarn over slightly loosely so that you can place those stitches in there. So Tunisian knit, yarn over, and Tunisian knit to the same stitch, like so. Then we work 3 Tunisian knit stitches, 1, 2, and 3. If you don't want to count your number of stitches between the increases, then you can always just know or make sure that you do the double increase into the yarn over from the previous row if you are not really into counting. Okay, so that's what we do, yarn over increase, and that's what we do for row number, or round rather round number 3. So you will do this all the way around up to your stitch marker. And once you get enough loops on your hook so that you can move or can place more loops on your hook, you then turn your work around and you will work your stitches off, yarn over, pull through 2. For the next round, round number 4, you would work the stitches in the round in a similar way. So I'm at the beginning of the round here with this, I've got a stitch with the stitch marker, so I would work 2 Tunisian knit stitches to get to the yarn over, and there I would work my central increase. And again I would work Tunisian knit stitches to the next increase, and I would repeat this all the way there, all the way around. So I'm going to show you this round just to practice your stitches and your increases, and on the next round I will show you how to work the next round with the Tunisian reverse stitches, which will allow you to create that contrasting color star in the middle of your project. Now we are on round number 5. If you follow the pattern, this round number 5 would have Tunisian knit stitches all the way around, but I'm going to skip to the round 6, where I'll show you how to start working your Tunisian reverse stitches in the pattern. So you've got two options here. So I wrote the pattern in a way that the first few stitches until the first central increase would be in Tunisian knit stitch, and then after the increase you would start working your Tunisian reverse stitches. So that's one method how to do that. The second method is that you would move your stitch marker and you would move the first stitch to the stitch just before the first central increase, and you would work the Tunisian reverse stitch from the first stitch after the increase again, work the Tunisian reverse stitches all the way around, and finish it on the stitch, the last stitch before the increase. So you've got two options here. So what I'm going to do the method which I described in the pattern. So I have 3 stitches until my central increase here. So I would work these 3 stitches in Tunisian knit stitch, 1, 2 and 3. Again, don't forget to move your stitch marker 1 round up, like so. Then I would do my double increase, Tunisian knit, yarn over Tunisian knit, and from the next stitch after the double increase I am then going to work Tunisian reverse stitches. So for those of you who are less familiar with this stitch, it is worked into the back vertical bar. So you would insert the hook from right to left if you are working as right-handed crochet, yarn over, pull up a loop, and what the Tunisian reverse stitch does, it pulls the return pass forward, so it brings the contrasting color forward, and then you do that for every single stitch. So you work your Tunisian reverse stitches, and as you can see already, it is bringing the color of the return pass forward. Then once you get to the next central increase, like I am now, you would work the standard increase of Tunisian knit, yarn over and Tunisian knit. Okay, so now I've got quite a few loops on my hook. I need to start working my return pass. Flip it back to the right side again. Right, so now we've done the central increase, so now we will work Tunisian reverse stitches until the next central increase, and we will do that all the way around until we get to the stitch with the stitch marker. Now we are at the end of the round where we worked Tunisian reverse stitches. As you can see, it created this nice raised pattern, and what we need to do is now, starting the new round, we need to complete the Tunisian reverse stitches up to the first double increase, or if you are on other rows you would do that just up to the first double increase. It doesn't have to always be just 4 stitches, and then you would work as per usual, double increase, and you would continue with the Tunisian knit stitches all the way around. So this would be, so this was round number 5 per pattern. The rest round, or the round with the Tunisian reverse stitches, started on round number 6. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to finish this up. I'm going to finish this round up, and then I will show you how to do the bind off in this project. Okay, so what I've done here is I've bound off, or I've done the return pass on the remaining stitches where I work Tunisian reverse stitch. Now I'll go to the central increase, so I can do my bind off from the central increase, and we will be doing Tunisian simple stitch bind off. So we will go into the stitch as if we were going to do Tunisian simple stitch. So we will work from right to left under the front bar, yarn over and pull up a loop and pull through the loop which was on from the return pass. Okay, so we've got one loop remaining, and we will work Tunisian simple stitch and pull through the loop which is already on the hook, and we will work this all the way around. So on this round we are not increasing anymore. In the pattern you would work a few more, in the pattern you would work few more rounds of Tunisian knit stitch, then you would work again one round of Tunisian reverse stitch, and then you would bind off. Just for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm working this on round number 6. Once you make your coaster, you can then block it, straighten it into the shape that you like, pin it down, wet block it, or steam block. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you found this tutorial useful. As always, please subscribe, like, and share this video with your crochet friends, and spread the Tunisian crochet love. And I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.